Hi, it's Dr. Mann, OBGYN and lifestyle medicine. I've been reading a book by B. Wilson, and the name of the book is First Bite. It's a very, very interesting book about how we develop preferences for different tastes and our emotional attachment to food. Now, I don't mean a dysfunctional emotional attachment to food. What she gets into in her book is certain attachments to food are very normal. They're basic and they're human. Now, if you were raised with very healthy food, you will have that childhood attachment to very healthy food. If you were raised as I was raised, with ultra-processed everything under the sun, like Hamburger Helper and Swanson TV dinner, obviously you could see I didn't eat kosher growing up, and Pop-Tarts, and I could go on and on and on. So I was raised with all of that, and I'm emotionally attached to that food. And that's normal. It's not pathological. It's normal to be emotionally attached to what you ate as a child. And so therefore, I'm also emotionally attached to those greasy kasha knishes that my grandmother used to make. She would put the frying pan in the oven and bake them in the frying pan. And every other childhood food that I ate, including challah and chicken liver and kugel and all the Ashkenazi Jewish foods. As an adult, I learned to like the Sephardic foods, but I'm still emotionally attached. Now, why am I saying all of this? Is that when we start to go whole food plant-based, if we deny the fact that we are emotionally attached to our childhood foods, we are possibly going to get into trouble. And that's why I keep promoting 95% plant-based instead of 100%, because it's much more realistic for most people. And you could use that 5%, hopefully not to eat Pop-Tarts, but maybe to eat that slightly greasy kasha knish that your grandmother used to make for you when you were growing up, or maybe a hamantashen, or whatever it is that makes you feel homey and comfy and nostalgic, because homey, comfy, and nostalgic is human nature, and that's what B. Wilson gets to in her book. And as I said, to deny that is possibly to lead to, I don't want to say failure on whole food plant-based, but for it to be unnecessary challenging. I would also recommend that you save your let's say, non-compliant foods for once in a blue moon, like your birthday, Shavuos, or Hanukkah, whatever it is. Now, today I was busy, of course, and no time to do anything because my mother's in rehab. And so I'm kind of like dealing with the fact that I'm just not doing a lot of scratch cooking right now. But I went to Trader Joe's because Trader Joe's, in my opinion, on the East Coast, has the best tofu. It's sprouted organic tofu, and it comes into little containers. Here we go. See? Trader Joe's. I don't have stock in Trader Joe's. So I bought like six of them. They last a long time. They last past their expiration date. And usually I can use one tub of this in 1 to 2 weeks. I also bought a lot of other stuff. But as I was browsing around, I saw that they had kosher whole wheat, stone ground whole wheat, English muffins. That's nostalgic for me because when I was growing up, we used to make homemade pizza. How did we make it? With Thomas's English muffins. And we used to put tomato paste and basil, oregano, garlic powder, and mozzarella cheese and Parmesan cheese, and melt it in the toaster oven. And this was a very delicious meal. Of course, because I tended to overeat, I could just keep eating them and eating them. Okay, that's another discussion for another day. But this is one of those nostalgic foods. So when I saw those English muffins, I said, you know what? Each one is 2 ounces, 130 calories, a trace of oil, whatever it is. I'm gonna buy them. And when I came home, I said, you know, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna make those pizzas? And then I realized I'm not having mozzarella cheese. Like, what am I doing? I happen to have some ricotta cheese from Kite Hill, and I thought maybe of putting it on there, but I wasn't in the mood for sour. I was in the mood for my old-fashioned pizza. So this is what I did, and this is what I would recommend to you. I took the tofu and I sliced it. And then I put it in the oven to dry out a little. And then I used these 2 Trader Joe spices. Here we go. Here's the garlic powder, and here's the pizza sprinkle. And the pizza sprinkle has tomato powder in it. And when I heated up and toasted my whole wheat English muffin, and then I put my tofu that was sprinkled with these 2 spices, and I started to eat it, I started to feel nostalgic, and I started to feel happy. And then when I finished eating it, I said, this was really good. Do I need another one? And I said, no, I don't need another one, because it's not the right thing to do. And my microbiome is holding in a totally different place. If I want something else, I also have a plantain. I'm very international. I could cut up a plantain and bake it in the oven and boil it. I have fruit. I have some other vegetable thing that I got that I was planning on eating tomorrow. I don't have to eat another one of these, and I'm so happy to report that to you. So when you want to get nostalgic for something, try to think of a swap and be creative. And if you can't think of a swap, maybe call your friend and talk it over, and you'll think of a swap, and you'll be happy, and you'll be nostalgic, and you'll be whole food plant-based. So I wish you the best of luck.